This is Stepping Stones lesson 3.1. We are comparing to order 6-digit numbers. So we have two different tables here. They're showing the populations of different cities. And the question beneath it says, how can you figure out which city has the greatest population? Which city has the least population? So one strategy that we can use is to start with our biggest place value, which would be the hundreds place value here, and compare left to right. Just like when we alphabetize words, we can compare each place value. So I'm going to quickly look through this list, and I see that all of them have a 1 in the hundreds thousands place. Then I'm going to go through to my 10,000s place, and there we start to see some difference. So we have a couple with 1s and 0s. We have one with 5, one with 6, a couple more with 5. And from there, I can start with my biggest number in my 10,000s place. So my biggest number in the 10,000s place is 6, which means that unless there's a bigger one, no, this is going to be our biggest population because we have the same number in the 100,000s place, but then a bigger number in the 10,000s place. So I'm going to say that McKinney, Texas, this is going to be very hard. McKinney. Now we're going to do the same thing, but to see the least population. So we know that they all have the same number in the 100,000s place, so we can start again in our 10,000s place. And I see that 0 is my lowest digit, and I have 0 here, and 0 here. So now I'm going to move on to my 1,000s place and compare those and all the ones that have zeros. So I have an 8 here, a 5 here, and a 7 here. So if I have a 5 in my thousands place here, this one is going to be my smallest population. So I can write Green Bay. Okay. Now it says, does Springfield or McKinney have the greater population? Well, we already know that McKinney has the largest population, so obviously the answer is going to be McKinney, but we can compare them anyways. We have 1 in the 100,000s place and a 1 in the 100,000s place, and then a 6 in the 10,000s place, but a 5 in the 10,000s place. So McKinney, Texas is going to be bigger. Another strategy we can use is to create a number line. So we have 100,000 here and 200,000 here, which means that every one of these tick marks has to be worth 10,000. So this one would be 110,000. This would be 120,000, 130, 140, 150, and so on to 200,000. So if I was going to plot these somewhere on the number line, I'm going to look at Springfield, and I can sort of round this to 150,000. I know it's going to be a little bit more than 150,000, so I might place Springfield right here, and I'll make Springfield black, and then I'll make McKinney blue. McKinney is a little more than 160,000, so I'm going to go to 160,000, go a little bit past it. And I can see that where I place McKinney is closer to 200,000, so it must be greater. So it says, which cities have a population that is greater than 120,000? So we're going to, again, look at our 10,000s place. We know that if it has a 1 in the 10,000s place, it can't be it. This one would be greater because it has a 5 in the 10,000s place. 0 won't work. 1 in the 10,000s place won't work. 0 won't work. That can't be greater. 162,000 is greater. That can't be greater. 154,000 is greater, and so is 151,000. So it says, how can you figure it out? What helps you decide? And I looked at the digit in the 10,000s place. We already kind of did that. Now it says write the population of each city, then write less than or greater than to complete each sentence. You can use the number line to help your thinking. So you can come back up here and use this. We have Sunnyvale, which has 151,754 people. 151,754 people. And we have Lansing, which has 115,056 people. 115,056. So I have two different strategies. I can first look at each place value. I have a 1 in each 100,000ths place value. So I'll move to my 10,000ths place. I have a 5 here and a 1 here. So because 5 in the 10,000ths place is greater than 1 in the 10,000ths place, I know that Sunnyvale has a greater population than Lansing. You can also put it on the number line. So we have 115,000, which would be slightly after, actually, it would be about halfway between 110,000 and 120,000. And then I have around 150,000, which is going to be about right here. And I can see that this dot is farther on the number line than this one is, so I know that this is greater. I want you to pause the video and do B, C, and D on this problem, and then start it again when you're ready to move on. Okay. We have a new table now, and it says which city has the greatest population. Feel free, if that number line works for you, to get a piece of paper, or if you have some space on your workbook, to draw yourself a number line. I would do between 100,000 and 200,000. Or we can use the comparing each place value strategy. So we have 1s in our 100,000ths place all the way down. And then I have 7, which is my biggest one so far, 3, 7, 1, 5, and 2. So 7 is my biggest number in the 10,000ths place. So then I'm going to move to my 1,000ths place to compare these two. And I have a 5 here and a 1 here. So Cape Coral is our greatest population. I want you to solve for the least population on your own. Remember, least means the smallest. So we're still comparing these, but now we're looking for the smallest number. Going down to number 3, we're going to compare greater than or less than again. A says Charleston, which is 132,609. And Sioux Falls is 171,544. So I'm going to compare. First, starting with my 100,000ths place, they both have a 1. Going to my 10,000ths place, there's a 3 here and a 7 here. So I know that Sioux Falls has a greater population. I want you to do B, C, D, E, and F on your own. All of the information you need is up in this table right here. Number 4 says write the city names in order from least to greatest. My suggestion for this is that you first find the least population, the smallest population, and the greatest population, and then you fill in the spaces in between. Remember to use this table up here. Step ahead says, look at the population table at the top of this page. Which cities have a population greater than 110,000 but less than 150,000? So you're going to go back up here and look for greater than 110,000. Remember to look over into your 100,000s place, and less than 150,000. So this one's a little tricky. Okay, you're going to list the 3 that are greater than 110,000 and less than 150,000.